Good morning. I'm Dave. This is Backyard Pursuits. We're back out here in the woodyard today to do some splitting. We're basically picking up where I left off in the last video. I just finished up cutting up some of these big beech rounds I got from the tree service. And off camera, I did a little bit of splitting. I ran just a few rounds through the splitter just to see how they do. Got about a half a basket done. I had a half basket over here I had to top up anyways. Finished that much and then called it there. So this stuff is, it's beech. It's not splitting the easiest. These are really big monster rounds. And I'm not sure if we're going to try to split them whole or if we're going to noodle them. I do have the 500i out here. It has been cleaned up and sharpened up, and I promise it's got a sharp chain on it this time. We'll see if I can keep it that way. But I think what we're going to start with today is I'm just going to try to run a couple rounds as they sit. And if I spot any rounds in here that have, obvious knots or something like that, then I will, then I'll get the 500i out and I'll maybe noodle down or cut around those knots so I can run it through the four-way. Running it through the four-way is my goal. I'd prefer not to have to drop it to a single-way wedge if I can avoid it, but we'll see what we can do. Get the splitter warmed up. Let's get to splitting. Two rounds in, time for a quick water break. Not quite, but almost half a basket out of 2 rounds. So that's pretty good. And those were both very solid. Now I'm going to try this guy next. Obviously you can see it's got some rot, and down in the center, you can see this whole area is punky. So we'll just have to sort of split around that. There's also this guy up here. So we're going to try to position that appropriately on the splitter so I don't try to 4-way right through that. Yeah, we'll see how this one does. We've got a couple other ones you can see that are hollow, but we do have, like, that one's solid. That one back there is solid. This one over here is solid. So that one back there is solid. This one right here is solid. There's a lot of solid stuff here. There's only a few of these, you know, punky, rotten pieces. Let's take a quick water break. We'll go back to splitting. There's one basket done, and we're doing this update from in the cab because just as I got the last couple pieces on top of that, it started raining. Which means now I get a chance to sit in the cab and drink some coffee and wait for the rain to stop. Now that the rain delay is over, let's get back to splitting. I'm going to see if I can get one more basket knocked out before the real rain gets here this afternoon. Another water break. We got about a half basket done there. But before I split any more of the big stuff, I want to tidy up that pile. That is all pieces that I've been splitting that are like way long. I missed a couple of cuts, and so I've got some pieces that are, 18 plus inches, and they won't stack neatly in my basket. They're too long to stack, end to end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break here, and I'm going to grab my my marker stick and my electric trim saw, and I think I'm just going to zip the ends off of those. Just cut the chunks off, and that way I can stack all of that stuff in there, so it's not just sitting on the ground. That was time consuming, but pretty fruitful, because now we're down to just a quarter of a basket to fill. Going back over here, I've got one more of the monsters set up on the log lift. We're just going to fire it up, split as much as I need to top that off, and then we're going to call it a day. You think you can get the basket completely full, and there's just not enough. I split that last big round and I still had some room left, so I just grabbed the 500 real quick, knocked up some of that limb wood, and topped that basket off. So that is now done. It can join its brother right back there. And yeah, this stuff is some work, and it's evidenced by the massive pile of trash under the splitter. This is, I mean, look at all this stuff. This is all punky, rotten, broken, really just all the nasty stuff that's coming out of the center of these logs. So I'm really not getting as much yield as I was really hoping for out of this. You know, it's how it goes when you're dealing with punky and rotted stuff. I do still have, you know, this round is good, that round is good, that whole, I think most of that section is good. So I've still got some solid larger logs, but you know, I don't know, man, these last couple ones, I don't know if it's worth messing with or if I should just save my effort for these big solid ones. This is where we're going to cap this video. I can look to the west and see some pretty dark clouds. We've got more rainstorms coming this afternoon, so I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. And 2 baskets down is definitely ahead in my book. I've got another, I don't know, basket and a half maybe behind the camera in large rounds. Next video will probably be bringing the 500i back out. We'll get the rest of this nipped all down to size and see if my chain sharpening skills off camera have redeemed themselves or not. I'm looking forward to getting all this stuff done. Manhandling it on the brute force is a chore. This stuff's big. It's heavy. It's sort of just a pain. But, you know, makes a good case. Maybe I need a vertical. I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to finishing this so I can move on to all the stuff over there, all that limb wood, which is all, you know, it's all that nice 6 to 12 inch diameter, just really easy stuff to cut. I can get the 261 back out and get into that. But the 261, though, it needs some work before it can come back out, and we'll get to that in a video, hopefully very soon. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till next time, stay safe. We'll see you around.